Alright guys, we're gonna skip the intro for this video today. If you guys do want an introduction of me, I do have that in other videos. And it will be in future videos. The reason why I'm skipping is because it's gonna take a good chunk of the video to do. And I feel like that's gonna make the video way longer than I would want it to be. So, as you guys can tell from the title, is Military Tycoon getting better or worse? And I'm making this video because I played Military Tycoon for 2 years and I've seen how it evolved. There's a lot of issues that are pretty common for this game that we could all probably agree on. Maybe not one of the points that I'm gonna make, but for the most part we're probably gonna agree on this. But before we begin, this video isn't to talk how bad Military Tycoon is, because I still think it's a great game because of the weekly updates. Like, that gives plenty of content for my channel. Because, like, the reason why I'm still doing YouTube is because Military Tycoon is having weekly updates, which, since I'm making videos weekly and you guys are watching, that really helps with me continuing with YouTube. So, I've never really said thanks to you guys, so I'm just gonna say thanks now. So, yeah, thanks guys for watching my videos and stuff, taking time out of your day to do it. This video isn't focused on that. So, we're gonna get into the issues with Military Tycoon. Alright guys, so the first issue I'm gonna talk about with Military Tycoon is that the events are becoming too repetitive. And we will get into the good parts of Military Tycoon after I talk about these issues. You guys are probably here to hear about the issues. The issue with repetitive events is that most of you guys don't find these events fun to play with. Like, repetitive events definitely isn't a new thing for Military Tycoon, because for those of you OG players, you guys probably remembered that the Abrams tank did come back multiple times. Like, the original one, pretty much what is the green Abrams tank is right now. Used to be like some weird color, weird camo tank. There's also the F-16 that came back multiple times. Those, I don't think it was too bad, because devs weren't like pumping out a vehicle every single week. Which, at the time when new vehicles came out, it was actually pretty exciting. Because, like, at the time where a new tank came out, like, I would compare that to the pay-to-win tank. Like, pay-to-win tank, you guys probably don't even have it or don't even care about it. I don't even see that tank being used. I think you could still buy it. Like, might be the Rakava that you can't get. That tank is definitely irrelevant now, and I'm sure any tank is. Like, there's a recent tank that came out, the Abram X, but that one, I don't think any of you guys would be using it because jets are still pretty meta in this game. And with the F-16, that used to be like a really good jet. Now it's like irrelevant with the amount of jets there are in this game. Like, these repetitive events, I'll also include for repetitive events is that vehicles are also feeling like copies of another. Like, the more jets added to this game, I don't think it's getting more exciting, because it's either use that new jet or play with an old jet that you've had for a while and you're probably better with. And with the new leveling system, which I'll get to in next points, which it is grindy, but like, well, once you grind it for a bit, like, what's the point of using that new jet? So, repetitive events that definitely aren't helping Military Tycoon. So, what I think the devs should do with these type of events is, you guys may disagree with me here, but I think the devs should rerun events where a jet is currently in the game, and like let the newer players have it, because when the devs don't have to focus on making a new jet every week, I think that they could focus on bug fixes and stuff and improve like the quality of the game, which I would much prefer over a new vehicle to grind. And the new vehicle in Military Tycoon now is grab it and then forget it, which the devs definitely put a good amount of time in there, and just for players to get it and not use it. Alright guys, so pay to win, this subject is definitely talked about a lot, like definitely throughout Military Tycoon being around, because like pay to win, like I don't think the game is like super pay to win to some degree, because like it really depends on what you would say is pay to win, because with some vehicles in the Game Pass part of this game, I wouldn't say it's pay to win, because if you get the A10 now, it's definitely not going to be as useful as like some other jets that you could potentially get for free in another event or from spin to win. Because like, I think the Typhoon X is in the spin to win. If you get that, well, there's really no point of getting the A10 at that point, because you have a much a free to play one. And with pay to win, like I can understand that new players are not gonna like it, because it doesn't really make it better for them to enter into this game. Like, this game is not really beginner friendly in the first place, because how grindy it is, which I'll get to in a sec. Like, I just want to get through one point at a time. Pay to win, like I'm sure you guys are aware about the gold F-35 coming back several times as a bundle, and that could upset some people. I mean, I don't really care too much, because I already have it, and I think players should have a chance on getting vehicles that they don't have, and especially like good vehicles. Like, doesn't make the game better if like OG players have the best vehicles and new players have something that they could easily lose to that OG player, because experience and having a better plane will give you an advantage pretty much a majority of the time. So with pay to win, like, I do understand the devs want to make money. Like, I'm sure we all want to make money at some point. I don't think the devs are gonna not make the game pay to win, because like, if you guys do want a previous event vehicle, unfortunately you do have to buy it. I think the best that the devs could do is make the bundles cheaper. I doubt they're gonna do that, so yeah. You guys may not all agree on this. That's pretty much my thoughts on pay to win for this game. Alright guys, the next problem in Military Tycoon is that there's a lack of replay value. Like, I remember when I first started playing Military Tycoon 2 years ago, and when Military Tycoon first started doing events, like, there were actually a good amount of PvP. Like, PvP, it's not like as rare as now. Like, now I occasionally see people dogfighting with like an F-22, F-16, or whatever, and we're using buildable planes, which that kind of leads back to this game having being pay to win, because I don't really see that many good jets in the air. And there's also a lot of new players too that I see that aren't really PvPing. Like, I'll get to more on PvPing in one of the points. Like, well, like, there's not much to really do in Military Tycoon if you're not PvPing. Like, there's grinding levels for your vehicles and stuff, but there's really not much else to do. I mean, raiding the bank, if you guys want 18 gems each time, or some money. Like, I only see bank useful to newer players, and with elite missions, if you guys don't have all the things from Elite Shop yet, then it makes sense to do it. Other than that, like, what's the point of playing Military Tycoon? And this really shows, like, after, like, people got their event vehicles or whatever they got, like, Military Tycoon numbers drop a lot. Like, on the first day of an update, you see the numbers spike, and then, like, next day and throughout the week it just plummets. So Military Tycoon is pretty much on this cycle of coming back with a event and then playing a different game for the rest of the week until Military Tycoon has something to play. Alright guys, so the next point with Military Tycoon is that this game has become way too grindy. So, going back to one of the points with repetitive events, like, these events with doing the same thing over and over, they're also, like, really grindy. Because for the Ingram X that I did for this week, I actually took like 2 hours to do. Like, more than 2 hours. Mostly because I didn't have loot drops to do, and because the update was only in newer servers at the time. The devs didn't, like, shut down all servers, so I did spend more time. I probably would spend an hour less if I could do loot drops. Still, it would have taken a while to do anyways. And with the new leveling system, I actually don't really like this at all, because you have to grind a lot, and the devs also added a game pass, which I did buy, and I didn't really use it at all. This game pass didn't really help me at all, and even with the game pass, Military Tycoon is pretty grindy with the leveling system. Because grinding to level 100 for a vehicle will take a while, and I don't think I'm gonna ever grind all the vehicles to 100. And like, I feel like the devs made this game grindy because of premium payouts. Like, I'm not 100% sure on this. If you guys don't know what premium payouts is, it's pretty much when premium players play a game, like let's just say you have a game, you will make money off of premium players playing. And I'm guessing that the longer they play, the more money the devs will make. Like, I completely understand that the devs want to make money, but when it feels like it becomes a cash grab, then the game will not feel as fun. So that's my thoughts on Military Tycoon being grindy and stuff. Like, doesn't really make the game that fun. Oh yeah, let's move on to the last point before I get to the good parts of Military Tycoon. Alright, the last point that I want to make is that I see a lack of PvP going on in this game. I think a lot of OG players are gone from this game because this game has gotten bad enough for them where they've left. Like, whenever I go to public servers, like, I rarely see PvP going on, and since I have all the good vehicles in this game, like, there's like no real challenge for me to fight against anyone. When you compare the PvPing with from this game to War Tycoon, like, you guys will see a huge difference. Because in War Tycoon, like, there's like constant PvP going on. Like if you find trouble in War Tycoon, you are probably gonna be playing for hours. In this game, when you find trouble, someone either leaves because they don't want to deal with PvPing because they're either grinding or they know that they're not gonna win. I feel like this is what Military Tycoon would thrive off of, which is PvPing. And like, I feel like the devs adding a bunch of vehicles into the game, like probably is to help revive PvPing so that newer players feel like they have a chance. These newer vehicles like doesn't really add much besides more grind to the game. So players are grinding this game constantly, or rarely I'll see people PvPing. Like whenever I see people PvPing, it's like 2 vehicles that you could easily beat with like a gold F-35 for example. So do I think that there should be more vehicles like the gold F-35? Well, definitely not, because there's gonna be way too many copies of the same thing. But back to repetitive events, in my first point I did mention that the devs should rerun some events. Like, I don't think all of you guys are going to agree with me on that, but for those of you guys that played Military Tycoon for a while, like, or probably as long as me, you've probably seen that Military Tycoon has rerun some events, which I think that's not a horrible idea for devs to do, because like at this point there are so many vehicles that are similar that what's the point of them adding a new vehicle if players are gonna grab it and then forget about it? Because these vehicles are more of a fear of missing out. If you guys don't do it within that 1 week that you could get it, you're not gonna get it. And if you miss it, like, I don't think you're even missing out on much, because the vehicle is most likely going to be a copy of another. So if the devs like cut on making new vehicles each week, like, I think they could focus more on quality of life things instead of like putting a bunch of work into one vehicle like you get during that 1 week that they added it. I also forgot to talk about soldiers in this part while recording. Soldier events I don't think are great for the game because it's a lot to grind, and after you grind for it, like, I don't think players are gonna use the soldiers. What I think would be great for this game is the devs to bring back a previous event vehicle and just throwing it in one of these off-week events, because like this would probably benefit the newer players more, and if they want to add a new event vehicle then they could. That's what I forgot to include in this part. But so with all those points said, like, I did probably repeat myself constantly. I don't think I gotta edit too much of it, because I already redid the recording so many times just to hopefully make this video good. But I've probably rambled enough now, but we can now go over to the good parts of Military Tycoon that I'm looking forward to. So the good things I'm looking forward to Military Tycoon is definitely the new base. Like, during the recording I did find out that the base got delayed until next week, which that's not too bad, because better have that delayed than more bugs added to the game. Do I think that will add more replay value to the game? I think that when they redo the base, they could potentially add more stuff to the game that you could do at bases, because like that would be pretty cool if they add more stuff like that. And another update that I haven't heard about in a while is the guns being revamped. Like, I don't think I've heard anything since the leak. The guns, you've probably seen it already. They're gonna get revamped. Like, I think the bazooka is gonna turn into like a quad missile launcher. But I do hope that they bring back the Tech 9 and bazooka. Like, doesn't make any sense to keep those guns like locked away from players. Like, I could have got it at the time I was playing. I wasn't willing to spend Robux in the game yet. And another cool thing that I'm also pretty excited about is soldier rework stuff or whatever. Like, I don't remember what Heller said in chat, but you guys could find it. I know that soldier earning levels is gonna get revamped and a bunch of other stuff. Like, I don't remember all of it. You guys will have to look it up yourself or go to my video where I talked about is soldier earning levels coming back. Like, I did have that screenshot up there. I'm not gonna find it again just to put in this video. And I'm also pretty excited for soldiers getting the attention that they need. But yeah, that's it for this video. If you guys do also feel the same about these issues, leave a comment. Also, join my Discord server if you guys do want to discuss about this stuff. Because, like, I don't want to be the only one that talks about this. Because I'm sure a good amount of you guys feel the same way as I do with Military Tycoon. Yeah, if you guys enjoyed this video, leave a like, hit that sub, hit that notifications, and peace.